we spent the night there at the high road and got some sailor's clothing and basic provision, and then headed for the docks the next morning. Got on board. Um, what was it? The Reverie,
Mm-hmm. Is the ship's
and
name. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and Ifon and Oren
Mm-hmm.
Omar. That is the captain. Anyway, they we met them. They put us to work, and as we were pulling out of the port, the veil was. That's where we left off.
Yeah. And the Vale, as you might remember, was as you rode into Raven's Bluff. It was in your path, and it's basically a wall of fog that's really impenetrable for vision. And yeah, that's sort of where we're going to pick up is on the ship here, basically sailing into the the Vale. So the four of you are aboard. You have been given your sleeping quarters. Everybody has sort of selected their bunk or hammock, as it may be, that sits in the bottom of the vessel. I think what happens is once you guys reach the Vale, it starts to actually get pretty dark, and so a lot of people go below deck, and there's some talk amongst the captain and some of his looks like some of his deck men and his first mate, excuse me, are um, giving him some advice and talking through what their strategy is going to be while sailing through the Vale. Um, and so you guys would have the opportunity then to again sort of explore the ship a little bit. I've got I'll take you guys through the map here as it may be. I think this was it. Was this not it? No, this wasn't it. Which one is it? This one. Here we go. You guys opted for the big boat. You weren't going little this time. So let me put
And
your token
to
up.
Harn's point, we had asked them about as we were going to Prosper, but we wanted to go to Trader Isle. They did have a boat and said for 100 gold once we get close enough to the boat.
Right.
So, we're back where we started, being dropped off in a.
So
Yes, I recall those. Yeah, your early
So,
days, right?
Well, yeah, that's. I guess. Yeah, I
so,
remember that.
so
Anyways.
I guess as our Griff can get to know you guys a little better. Uh, I don't want to take over, James.
oh, go for it.
Sure.
So what I was going to say was, look, I'm all I'm searching for is had rumors of Medusa's working with the Red Wizard Bay to take over some of the ancient Dwarven civilization. I'm out to get about it, um, provide kind of proof that this is happening and what do we need about it from my sponsor, person that I'm doing it for. And I kind of looked to Saharn and basically nod to him, saying I was also find you contact below the sea about the sea in this area pulling the link knowledge.
Why me? I'm just a small pilgrim.
You're blue.
Because I'm blue, I'll take that.
And perhaps because you're from the depths of the sea, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
Right. So yeah, so it's again when Griff talks, he kind of talks in clipped tones, like he's not used to being around people or speaking common a lot. Um, so
Put this in the ship
some of
here.
his speech may be a little abrupt.
Well, I am itching for a chance to strike a blow against the Red Wizards of Thay. The Mithra spits over the side of the boat. And so let's slay this Medusa.
Yeah, I'm with her.
I look to Mithra and I say, have you ever encountered the red wizard?
And so then she starts to look kind of disturbed, and she's like, another time. It's not the time. I'm not gonna discuss this now.
There's definitely a lot of ears about and other strange folk, other, ship. It seems like everyone's working, doing something, but there's a lot of people buzzing about, people milling about. Some people are actually kind of laid up in the bunk areas as well. So, probably, yeah, one of those moments where you're overhearing a lot of conversations as well. And one of the conversations that catches your ear is a couple of the passengers are worried about, whether or not the captain is capable of sailing through the Vale, and if he's aware of the haunts that occur when sailing into the Vale.
Said that word.
So there's some concern amongst, a couple of them. Others, some of the more hardened sailors, seem to scoff at that, and talk up their captain, and say that the spirits will guide him through the spirits. And they laugh at their own joke because the captain, as you start to pick up, is quite the heavy drinker. So you're not sure, again, what his skill level is at this point, but there's sort of a mixture of experience as far as some experienced sailors aboard this ship and some, very, very unskilled folks as well. So you find yourselves probably in a similar range as far as your group is concerned, but you've been tasked with some of the deck work, and you've spent most of your time so far working up on the deck, and now you've got some freedom to kind of be at ease and get some grub, and maybe mill about and see what's going on the ship.
Which captain did we go with? Which captain? Who's the captain of the ship? Refresh me, somebody.
Aaron?
Put it in the party notes.
Oram?
Orm.
Oram. Okay, I'm just wondering, was he one of the ones that was mentioned by the two dwarves that we
Orm, yeah.
talked to about the captains, DM?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would have been one of the ones they were mentioning. He's not a dwarf. He's a human.
That was the other thing too. Jamie had mentioned, Jamie had mentioned that almost the whole crew is human, and they seem to all be from the west, flying the flag of Westgate, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's the flag of Westgate. So that would maybe, I'm not sure if Mithra has been that far west before, or hung around a group of Westerners, like this boat would have. So some of the more experienced sailors seem like they have that Western accent, and some of the lesser experienced sailors seem like a mixture of folks from around the realms. So you definitely get the sense that this is a Westgate crew and a Westgate run operation. If you're not familiar with Westgate, I think Bart would be maybe the one who would have maybe some memory of Westgate. Is there anything, Bart, that he would offer, knowing that this crew is from there?
You're asking Bart to ponder back quite a ways. Westgate is where he woke up with a strange marking on his arm.
Right. Exactly.
Bad news.
What do I remember in Westgate?
Well, it was a pretty corrupt town, essentially, is what you remember.
It seems like there are, a lot of people willing to help us or wanting something from us that they weren't exactly forthcoming about.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might have been willing to say, "Oh yeah, I can help you out," but there was always a price for it, which I think is that where met Winnick as well, and
Yeah, exactly.
um,
Yeah.
that kind of comes to mind as we were all like, "Oh yeah, you can come on this boat," and little did we know what we were actually getting into, and um,
So
kind
the
of
other
being
thing
tasked with.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the other thing to mention that I forgot to mention was, since, we had the encounter with the fire knives. Well, we warned Furbus the fire knives are about, and said something about, yeah, he's seen them around too. When we got on the boat, we were last second editions, but there were a few others that also got on the boat, Procampur. So we wanted to keep our eyes on them just to make sure they aren't also fire knives. Urza, the first night as we were setting our places in our bunks or finding our bunks, all of a sudden remembered, hey, wait a minute, one of the fire knives we killed at the watching a Mithra at the Gladiator. So they'd been tracking us.
Hmm. I guess that's not something I don't
Sophia,
remember. We looked into a whole lot of why we were being tracked by them, but
Yeah, I think what between Kurza and Bart would be able to recall would have been and there were a lot of books and things that you picked up as well where this was studied and it was determined that there's an alliance of some evil organizations that have come together to try to basically take over the region. And the marking that's on your arm and Kurza's arm uh, basically represent the different factions of the organization. And ultimately, the group that's behind that seems to be allied with the Red Wizards of Thay. And so there's a lot of different angles that you could take there. But what seemed to be happening in Westgate was that these groups were kind of operating pretty freely, pretty much out in the open. And like you said, there were a lot of nefarious offers that you received when you were in Westgate, and seemed like there were a lot of opportunities that maybe were too good to be true, things along those lines as well. Of course, nothing was ever found from you guys being marked in your sleep when you were in the inn as well. So it didn't seem to be a whole lot of law and things like that to speak of. So, any other thoughts or?
Well, Amithra is pretty well traveled for her age and experience, but she's never been to Westgate. So I want to use my etiquette proficiency to just kind of study them and also see if there's anyone that doesn't fit in, like if there's anyone on board that doesn't seem to be behaving like everyone else.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Keep us safe from the spies. Yeah. Throw them overboard.
Yeah.
Don't want to
we
have.
just
Yeah.
just tripped.
Haven't seen crewman Ted all day. Don't know what happened.
At last, she's maybe had a drink and is kind of tired from all the work that we had to do.
Well, maybe you didn't find the most suspicious person or anything like that, but I think you, just from being curious, would have stumbled upon some dice games that are happening on the second deck. That it seems like there's some wagering between some of the travelers who have some big pockets and the crew. The captain would be in basically he's kind of pictured in the bottom right corner here, where he's sort of got a pretty open area, nothing too glamorous for the captain. He's got some of his papers laid out and a few bottles to boot, but he's pretty informal, let's say, as far as how he conducts himself. and the way the crew seems to have access to him, and you all have access to him, he's uh, available as well to kind of observe, and I think so. Those would be things that would be obvious. And since you didn't really, maybe figure out who sticks out the most, I think you would find some other curious travelers, but maybe you just haven't gleaned enough information from them yet.
Okay, got it. Do we know where the ship is headed, like after it drops us off? Group?
No, we didn't get that far. We didn't have any conversations with anybody but Furbus, Efal, and Efal, all he did tell us, move that box from there. Monks are not as far as we got.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of time for chat, huh?
We're literally just pulling out right now.
Yeah, you've just sort of left here in the last hour or two. You've been working, and then now you're finally getting a little bit of time to settle and explore the ship. And here's I'll cut back to the map real quick. That you can see sort of the tail end. You guys have just departed Procampur. You're heading southwest, and you are heading into the Vale, basically, which seems to be right upon you when you came down below deck, and that's causing a lot of talk amongst that's where you can really tell the experienced sailors from the others who've never been through it before. Seems like there's a lot of nerves, and some of the crew are playing and taunting some of those folks who seem to be taking it a little too seriously, maybe from their perspective. So that's just maybe one of the dynamics that's going on the ship at that point. But it's essentially just a vast, really thick cloud of what doesn't even seem like smoke. It just seems like a mist, a very, very thick mist that's of fog. So, yeah, I think as far as trying to learn where they would be headed, that would be something you could try to figure out if someone would like to gather that as information. You could use non-weapon proficiency, or if you'd like to role play with one of the passengers or crew.
Well, I think Saharn could find that out just by chat as I go aboard around the ship, trying to offer comfort and prayer and guidance to those who might be afraid. And maybe some of them would be willing to also answer a couple questions for me.
Sure. So is Saharn what would Saharn think? What would be his place where he'd feel comfortable doing that? Would it be at the in
Mostly below decks, so out of the work area and out of sight of anyone who may be, wanting to just watch us out of the captain's eye, ship's eye, trying to be a little hush hush. And I don't know if people are willing to speak or not, but I need to find out.
Sure. Yes.
What's the fear level? What are these? What did you mention might be in the fog?
Yeah, so if you overhear, some or maybe you remember the face of one of those folks who was talking about there being haunts in the fog.
Yes.
That maybe resonated with Saharn to where when you later saw that person, you asked the question, what are you speaking of? And yeah, you see some fear, kind of spill onto the face of this middle-aged man who doesn't look like he's extremely well traveled, and he begins to tell you the tale of the Vale, and what that there's still some unknown in terms of what the Vale is, and what causes the Vale, and where does the Vale come from. And it is known that along with it, that it brings disturbances, spirits, something surreal and unnatural.
Well, that may be frightening, except you said he's not well seasoned, well traveled on the seas.
He
Did I get
doesn't
that?
doesn't appear to
What I
be.
get?
No, doesn't appear to be.
So if where did he hear these stories? This is like rumors he picked up in a pub back in Procampur or something. The validity doesn't sound like, yeah, but we might be a little safer than I think.
Yeah, if you'd like to do like a if you have some type of like wisdom check or something you could do, or a wisdom based non-weapon proficiency that you want to use to try to get a read on that, I think that would be a fun way to figure out if you can sort out the source.
Hmm, if this is detrimental to what we're doing here, let's roll that. What I get?
You got a 10. You made it by 7. Yeah, you kind of
Good.
you start to basically yeah, get the sense that that he learned of this secondhand. Feels a little flimsy the way he's describing it to you.
I figured that. I'll also just continue. We don't have to play all this out, but as we're moving along through and I'm going through the ship, offering guidance, healing minor wounds, whatever. See if I can find some more credible information. So let's background role play that out.
Absolutely. So I think you would, if you're looking for some of the more experienced sailors aboard the ship, they seem to be, a lot of them seem to be either in the bunk area, congregated in one corner, where they're kind of all together, and they've sort of almost blocked off their sleeping quarters with some cloth and other things from the rest of the non-Westgate travelers. And then there's also a big contingent of them gambling, playing dice, throwing bones up in on the second deck. And that seems to be a rowdier bunch, of course, than the group that's milling about in their quarters. So, if you guys, I don't know who wants to kind of mill about the ship and maybe go one way or the other. Is there any thought there that who might join Seharn?
I was just gonna walk around and listen, conversation, try to be kind of try to blend background fairly,
Mm-hmm.
but also got
I'm down to throw some bones with the gamblers. They're the experienced ones, you said?
There
Maybe?
seems to be a pretty like a 50-50 at that table of experienced sailors and passengers essentially. So
It's like over there,
yeah.
and I say like, yeah, like what's the ante? How do I get in on this action?
Well, you can observe that they're playing, and here's the dice game that you can play. So there's, let's see, Ship of Fools is, and these are all 6-sided die games that they're using. And in this one, you throw, I think it's 2d6, and based on what you roll, it's basically like you're gonna wager that you're gonna get um, one side or the other. The what is it? The starboard and the what's the other side? Port side, port and starboard, right? So the 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, and 12 is starboard, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is port side, kind of. So basically, you're gonna bet which one you're gonna roll, and whatever you're wagering, someone will possibly wager against you.
And
So
what are the stakes that they're playing at, more or less?
it looks like probably somewhere between like a gold to 2 gold per roll for the most part. That's what you've seen. Every once in a while, you might see one get up to 5 gold, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, all
So
right.
it seems
I'll
like pretty low stakes right now. It seems like they're just loose and playing the game a lot right now, and that
yeah.
it's not real high stakes. So if you want to
Yeah.
roll 2d6 and then call it beforehand if you're going to go for the starboard or the port.
I'll go starboard. That ship of fools, or
Yeah, Ship of Fools.
yeah.
Yeah, so you're basically you would have needed, you rolled a 10, so you actually would win. We needed to, or wait, was that yours? No, that wasn't yours. You need to roll 2d6, and then you need to roll 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, or 12. So you'll roll a 9, so you'll lose a gold. That would be the minimum that you would have to bet. And yeah, you get some chuckles from, some of the other passengers. They kind of chuckle, that a new player is on the table and is lost already.
What can I say? I'm a fool.
That you are. Are you ready for another roll?
Yeah, sure.
Take 'em.
Why don't we make it 2 gold this time?
Two
Pick-
goals it is.
Pick your side. Starboard or port?
Let's go port.
Very well. Well, it would be the first 2, so it would be 9. So you did hit. So you'd win 2 gold. You'd be up a gold right now. Get a couple. You
Awesome.
definitely get a couple reactions from some of the sailors there that would like the fact that you escalated the bet and you hit it. See, she knows what she's doing.
Oh, so starboard isn't land ho. It's not 3 6-sided dice. It was just the 2.
Oh no, it's just 2. Yeah.
Okay,
It's Ship of Fools is the game they're playing right now.
got it. So I lost a gold and I won.
And then you just won 2 gold. So
Okay, so net 1 gold.
yeah. So let's take it up a notch, and he puts 3 down. He challenges you to do it again.
Yeah, why not? Starboard is my lucky.
Okay.
Port.
Well, you had picked port. Yeah, the last time you picked port. You've rolled port twice, but you picked starboard or port once. Yeah. So are you going port?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's that actually hits as well, right? So you got. Oh wait. Yeah. Port. Yeah. So 7. Yeah. So you get 3 gold. Yeah. You definitely see like some of the passengers who look like they've got, again, like deeper pockets. The crew seems like they're trying to get everybody that's not from Westgate to gamble as much as possible. They're trying to get the new blood, spending money. And so you definitely like see a lot of the other passengers, putting out bets, and they're jumping right into this. They're kind of getting, roped into rolling the dice. So but they're doing, you're doing pretty well. Some of them are doing pretty well as well. So will you continue? Will you go again? Well, I don't hear you. I think it muted.
Oh, I said, no, I think I don't want to tie it all the time with gambling. So yeah.
Well, while she is gambling for Griff, if you could do, as you said, you were keeping an eye about, so if you can do I don't know if you have observation or information gathering as a non-weapon proficiency or anything wisdom based. If not, you can just make a plain wisdom check.
Tracking it.
Yeah, you can just do a wisdom check. We'll see how much you're able to really glean from the crowd here, since if you're watching the gamblers and everything. Yeah,
I
so
noticed nothing.
well, you don't maybe, everything I had just described, you would still have noticed, but that it seems like the crew is really trying to get the passengers, including Amithra, to start to feel comfortable at the table, right? So it seems like they're like really being maybe a little bit trying to draw in the gambling, get people really like loosened up. So that would be going on, and I think you would notice that there's a few of the crew who seem to be maybe in charge. There's a woman who actually is pictured on the upper right here, who seems to be collecting money from time to time from some of the other crew members. So she like walks up to the table every 15 minutes or so and seems to collect something from one of the crew who's organizing the game, and she walks away and then comes back later. So you've seen her come by a couple of times, like she's either responsible for it or allowing it to happen on her watch, or you're not sure. That's the part that you're not really sure what the racket might be, of course, but you definitely see some of that. You also see, and this would be something that would be maybe for Seharn, that it does seem like there's a gentleman, an older gentleman on who's a passenger human, who appears to be dressed as a spellcaster. From the looks of it, he's wearing some kind of dark purple robes, has some long flowing white hair. He carries a wand, and seems like one of the few people you've seen aboard the ship that's obviously has arcane power. So that's another kind of unique passenger that you would have seen as well.
Really? I'm going to try to get his name. I'm just going to go up and introduce myself and Seharn, spiritual guidance, sir, spiritual guidance. See if you'll, strike up a conversation, yes or no.
Yeah. So he will. Do you have like a holy symbol or anything that you wear that's obvious, or any symbolism at all that you would wear? Heraldry?
It would only be more in the form of like, if humans could even decipher it, it's more of like a series of shells, a necklace, very hard to get, but I didn't even look up what my God's holy symbol was, to be honest with you, Jamie.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. But if it were, I'm just
Sort of play that.
wondering what he would take from you as far as information from what he would see. And so
Uh,
is there any other like obvious markings or anything that Seharn would have?
Not really. I mean, I'll tell him I'm a follower of Volkir, God of the Sea, and he would like a blessing for the upcoming. If he has any trepidations about the upcoming fog, would introduce myself, ask him his name, if I can find that out.
Yeah, he does introduce himself, and he says to you that I'm Baden, and what brings you aboard this rickety ship?
I'm merely learning the ways of the landers, associating myself and spreading the word of Valkyr, earning a living, providing harmony and healing to the men of the sea. I'm going to be a little vague about it, in other words.
I see. What's Bart doing during this time?
I kind of imagine Bart kind of just looking around to see, and perhaps asking about if anyone's been near the island of Procampur before, and if they've seen a strange light off on an island. He's still kind of
Oh, Presper.
brought,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or Presper, yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
still kind of brought back to the visions he had as we're heading back out there. So this tower and on the top of an island right near there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The glowing light atop it.
I know.
So he'd be curious if there's any rumors or legends or anything about that someone might know about.
He says he squints at you and looks you up and down and says, "You are a follower of the Lady of the Mists. It is fortuitous that we should ride with you through the Vale. I I
There it is.
I know I know of some things in the Isle of Presper, but what you speak of sounds like nothing I've seen with my own eyes. What Describe again what it was, that the vision that you had."
Bart probably remembers better than I do, but uh,
Yeah, that's fair.
it's been quite a while. But and I think there was some like a whispering voice that he heard too as well, besides like a purplish light atop
Yeah.
a tower and a small island, and a voice that whispered to him. Uh,
Yes. He says this is quite an interesting thing you speak of. I have heard some of these, what I thought were stories before, but you seem genuinely affected, as if you really saw these things. So he believes you. He seems like he genuinely believes Bart, and what Bart saw. Um, doesn't recognize it per se, but he's kind of intrigued by it. And he says to you that I shall ponder this. We will speak again. I will piece some ideas together. I'm very curious to learn more.
I think he might mention too. I think when the last time he had, or when he had this vision, I think we were also in the deep fog too around this area. Um, so he doesn't know if that maybe has something to do with it or not, but
This is certainly again, I believe, a fortuitous thing that you mention this to me. Um, I may perhaps be able to shine some light on this, but until then, until we speak again about this, I would be careful what you mention around here about seeing lights in the fog,
mm,
for it will bring some fear and paranoia that we may not be able to subside. They are a superstitious lot.
let's not feed their superstition. I see.
However, um, I think he kind of he may at this point kind of, I think, start to, you notice that he's kind of looking at your arm,
Mm,
that he might even have done something to tell him that there's something on your arm. In other words, you think he might have cast a spell. He seems to be kind of staring at your arm after doing so.
okay.
Do I, have I noticed Bart's arm yet?
That's up to Bart, really. If Do you think Bart would be
Um,
revealing that to these, Griff particularly, or the others? Of course, Molly, I think, would have known by now, right? Is that
yeah, I think
Yeah?
we've talked about it fairly openly, especially since Amithra joined.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like if I think he would not really be trying to hide it, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have come up yet in discussion, I guess. The other
Yeah.
thing.
Well, yeah. So I think basically, Bart's not open, maybe necessarily about it, but he's somewhat casual with his party, and so you would have seen it at some point, Griff. Would you have inquired about it?
Yeah, I nod to, I guess I'll walk up to Bart if you're done with your interaction.
No, go for it. I think
Yeah.
this is almost like a flashback in a way of how when you would have first seen this.
I'll ask about it, and I'll say I noticed a similar one on Urza's arm. Did you get
Yeah,
them at the same time?
I wonder if this might almost be. I know Jamie, when you asked earlier about if Bart would have anything to say about Westgate, and this might even come up then, actually, or have come up
Yeah,
then as
yeah, that's a
part
great
of his
point.
description of
Mm-hmm.
being led astray and not exactly um, knowing what we've gotten ourselves into from one moment to the next. And part of that happened to be how we ended up with these tattoos. Um,
Yeah,
not by our own choosing and full of symbols that we vaguely understand and aren't necessarily very happy with either.
definitely. They
And I, and
seem
I
counter to your nature. Yeah.
yeah, and I only recognized the fire knives. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, you would have recognized that symbol. Um, yeah, I think you've
Yeah.
you when you see this thing in the daylight or in a well-lit area, just looks like an extremely well detailed tattoo in the normal light, and it's so it would catch your eye. It would be something that is very uncommon to see. Not that there's not tattoos aplenty, but the workmanship of it is just like fascinating to see. But when you get into dim light and no light, it starts to shimmer, it starts to shine. It almost seems like stained glass in the dark when the way it wants to shimmer in the dark. And so that would be probably more the time when Bart, you might take more precaution, realizing that it would be more obvious when it's really dark, and that those would be times when you might cover it up. But yeah,
And
that's
you know,
yeah.
so I'll continue on that line of questioning of, so this was involuntary. You didn't have this done. Urza didn't explain much about it.
Yeah, no, um, these were forced upon us. Not that any of us even really know where they came from. It's fairly mysterious. And
Have you looked into done any research on why or what this is?
uh, does
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna have to lean on Jamie a little bit here again. I know we looked into it at one point, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember
yeah, no,
what all we did learn about it was not a whole lot, but
it I think what I would think was the big learning that you all had was with Caddison, who, when you showed this to him in his chambers there in Ravensbluff, when you arrived in Ravensbluff and you showed it to him, he had explained to you that it was this new alliance of these groups, and he mentioned that each of the symbols was tied back to their alliance, and the fact that you were marked means that you will very much act against your will, specifically when it comes to things in the region, control in the region, and I think the threat that he saw and mentioned to you and tried to downplay was that you would act in opposition to the kingdom of Cormyr, which Caddison is from, the kingdom of Cormyr. If you guys, let's go back to the map real quick, and I'll just kind of highlight for you. Cormyr is here northwest of Westgate, but it's sort of like this region, and there's several different large cities that are a part of Cormyr. However, they're pretty well traveled in this region. They've got naval fleets and other naval interests that pretty much make their rounds throughout the Sea of Fallen Stars. So seeing the purple dragons and seeing their purple banners is not that uncommon. You would have seen those in probably every major port that you've been in. And what Cadison warned you of is that the the bonds that you wear will force you eventually to act, for this alliance and against kingdoms like Cormyr and others who seek to have, peaceful existence in the region and lawful existence in the region. So even like Sembia would be another uh, uh, area that would be allied with Cormyr. Some of these other regions here are also aligned and peaceful regions. So you can see Thay is, in the northwest, and that's sort of where the center is, epicenter of this alliance, as far as you understand, and what Cadison was able to, transfer to you before you were ambushed by Captain Winnick, who seemed to be working for and getting enriched by turning you over. So that's that's a little bit I can fill in for you there, no problem.
I guess the
So I
only.
guess,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so I guess my concern would be, did we try to do something about taking care of this, or has it caused problems past and problem for us?
Bartle just mentioned that's part of the reason why he kind of is interested in this vision he had. I don't think any of the other characters he's been with have seen this, and he just has a weird sense of hope that maybe this is some form of help or some way out of this, versus something that united all of us with the tattoos. This was something he felt was unique that he experienced, that maybe could hold answers that we haven't found elsewhere.
Mithra, I was just gonna say, Mithra would chime in if I could.
Sure.
Yeah, remember I spoke to Bart and Kurza and Ronnie about someone in the pits that had the same tattoo and went crazy and attacked their friends. And so I'm concerned. So when Griff brings that up, I say, yeah, they need to take care of this as soon as they can. But we found no way to remove this warmer.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and that would it's think of it a little bit, and this is what Cadison would have really been explaining, is that it's a little bit like a rune that will be triggered by something. There are several different things that could potentially trigger it, and that's what's kind of unknown. So far, as far as Griff's question is concerned, it hasn't really seemed to cause anything obvious as far as behavior change for those that have had it. They haven't been triggered yet by anything or acted against their will that they know of. So those things are kind of still a mystery.
To tell us about your vision.
I can show it to you as well.
I was gonna say, can you pull up the image? I've been
see if I can
trying to describe it off of memory, but
Saharn or I may know where your vision is.
I think Bart had the sense that it was near the island of Procampur, right? Like
Prosper?
or Prosper, yeah.
Yeah, Presper. Yeah, so there's Presper is the large island, and then there was a smaller island called the Trader's Isle, and that's where you found the Sahagin lair. So there's a couple of small islands around Presper. This vision, like Bart said, came to him as they were sailing away after they got off of their rowboat and back onto their rendezvous ship with the group they made arrangements with to pick them up. They hit the Vale, and it was somewhere in that area, just like where you're at right now, where he did get that vision. Yeah.
Does this look familiar to you? I look at Sahar. Been around these parts. Or does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
He doesn't show us a picture on his iPhone.
Bahar knows nothing of this. I would suggest, though, your wizard that you've been talking to may be able to tell you how to address this directly. If it's that critical, I fear for your life. As the Mithra said, you could go crazy at any time.
Well, to be clear, I've been traveling with them for quite some time, and they haven't. But
Yeah, and
still fearful.
there were some rumors and things that observations that some of you had also at some point, and at this point I don't know who had which ones, but this is more from the original 6, I should say, and
Mhm.
from the original 6, there was a rumor about a Cormyrean wizard who was outcast by the kingdom of Cormyr for acting against their interests, and he was the reason for the name of the Traitor's Isle. He was considered to be a traitor, and so he was banished to an island where he has not been seen or heard from in over 10 years, according to Cadison, when he learned and you learned this from him. So that was one of the suspicions, was that, is this him or is this something different?
And I think Bart would be able to and probably willing to share that information with the group, because I'm looking back at the rumors, and that is something that
Okay, yeah.
he had known of. Runhost
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
was the name of the wizard that he had heard of, that you're describing there.
Yeah, perfect. Would you have mentioned that name to Baden, the wizard aboard the ship that you spoke to? How much would you share
I
with him or trust him, I guess is
I think Bart's probably getting to the point after. I mean, we've been traveling for quite a while. He's kind of hoping that by not being entirely too secretive, that he may be able to glean or gain the trust enough of others to get the actual information that he needs.
yeah.
Because the other part about this wizard was he's actually quite interested in it because he's believed to be following Lyra as well.
Maybe we should describe your vision to the captain or wizard. Or looking at
Well, he did describe it to the wizard, and the wizard said
Really?
he hadn't seen it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I think his
Um,
yeah he said not to pass it around too much or we'll spook everybody probably, but
yeah, visions in the fog stories, tend to get exaggerated a little bit.
All right.
Is what he was kind of hinting at, I think. Um, but also, I think, again, like the marking on your arm would be another thing he might suggest that you know keep it to yourself until you speak again. Let's see what else. Anybody else have anything that they want to inquire about as far as making contact with folks on the ship or exploring?
Just like I said, I could continue to try to keep my back to a wall or something, try to observe, as obviously following or eyeing the.
Well, let's see. Let's have everybody do a wisdom check, and we'll see what you guys are able to put together as a team here. So,
The wisdom check?
yep, yep.
I think somebody ought to talk to the captain. I know if Kurz over here, he'd be doing it. So if
Yeah.
no one else wants to, Mithra will probably take it on herself to do it.
Well, there you go, Saharn. So yeah, so you had 3 out of 4 successes here for this. So, what I think you guys begin to piece together is that I think you start to the further you go, you start to get the sense that the crew and captain aboard this ship are probably not experts. I think that's something that starts to kind of sink in, that it's a real piecemealed crew as far as, again, their experience level. Some of the things you hear them talking about, the way how informal they are with their captain, starts to kind of give you a sense over time that maybe these guys don't have everything dialed in like you had hoped. So you start to maybe lose a little confidence in the captain and crew, just from the different things that you're seeing and observing as you're spending more time on the ship and observing a little bit of the chaos and whatnot that's going on aboard the ship. Definitely not tightly run in terms of like when Bart and Kurza were aboard ships in the past. There was a lot more order and control and reverence for the captain. Doesn't seem to be the case on this ship for whatever reason. So that would be another, a red flag that would remind you of Westgate. It would just remind you of exactly what Westgate is like. Always a little shady, but they're moving along so far. The ship seems like it's sturdy enough, capable enough, those types of things. So you guys would piece that together. You definitely feel like there's some kind of racket going on, that the crew is somehow making money when it seems like they're not making money. So there's something fishy to you about the gambling, definitely, that you would feel is going on. But that would kind of come, with time, that you would start to sense that they've got an angle there that they're playing. Let's see what else.
It's just got me wondering, guys, if these guys are like traders or pirates. Like what's this crew really up to?
In your experience, Saharn, how would you gauge the crew and their ability? Failed a lot. I have not.
Based on what Jamie said, I'm going to say a little shaky. I don't really trust them. I'm not sure they really know what to do, and I'm afraid if the ship runs into trouble, they'll make the ship. You know what I mean? If storms, bad weather, if something comes up, I'm not sure these guys are going to be able to handle that properly.
Speaking of which, we are gonna roll to see what our sailing conditions are like. Would somebody like to roll that under the collection tab at the very bottom under rollable tables? I'll take whoever wants to roll that first. I'll take whatever.
Well, since I don't know what you're referring to, I won't do it.
Yeah, go to the collection tab and go to the very bottom. You should see one that's called sailing conditions. If you click roll, it'll roll into the chat and tell us what is going on. So, yeah, so you guys are able to sail 40 miles basically on this first day. It's choppy water, but it's not impassable here. So you're making decent time as far as you're concerned, as far as you can tell. So
You get seasick.
well, I won't put that on you guys yet. It's a little choppy, but it's the first day, so I think you'll those of you who have been on a ship before, you probably know some ways to manage that. And those of you who haven't, I think it's so new to you that you're probably still just running on,
Some herbs.
Yep. I was
There you
just going to say, Saharn probably has
Ginger.
What was that, Wayne?
I was gonna say Saharn probably has balms for, seasickness, diarrhea, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that might be those will be things that you will have to very likely deal with after when you get to the morning, where you're gonna have to deal with some of that. But for now, this is being really like the full first day. Uh, you guys would I don't know. I'm sorry. Is there anything else that you wanted to really get done on that first day before you get some shot eye?
Myth was going to talk to the captain.
Oh, so yeah, so you can basically walk up, like I said, to where the captain he's got some seating and an open table. You get close and you see that he's tilting the bottle back, looking at some papers, kind of leaning into it and murmuring to himself a little bit, like to the west, and he's just kind of talking to himself a little bit. What do you plan to do in Mithra?
I say, you look like a captain who's been around the seas quite a bit. You got quite an operation here.
He
And
takes another swig and lets out a little belch. Kind of looks up at you. He says, "This ragtag crew will be lucky to make it through this veil."
I'm not talking about the sailors. I'm talking about the gambling operation. And I give him like a knowing chuckle, not in a,
Yeah, I think he said I think you might get like a raised eyebrow for a second as he kind of pieces together what you're implying, and he says, "Got to make a living."
Here, here. I'm wondering what the plan is. Are you going to be coming back around to pick us up at some point
Pick you
after
up.
you drop us?
Pick you up. Pick you up from where?
Where Presper? That's where we're going, right, Jamie? Yeah, yeah. At Presper, of course.
Presper. The hell
That's
do we
where
want
you're.
to go to Presper? Oh, you. Are you you're the ones
That's
with the
right.
rowboat?
That's right.
Yes. We'll get you close, but we've got to go north. We've got to get around this veil. We're not going straight to Presper.
How long will the veil hold?
If we head north, we'll be able to cut down on a day of it. If not, we'll have 2 more full days of it, and I can't guarantee we'll be tracking in the right direction once we lose our vision and the sun, and our direction is compromised.
Yeah, I understand. Um,
But we'll get
we're
you
not gonna
there. But
we're not gonna run into any haunts, are we?
those are just old tales. He kind of looks at you a little suspiciously that you say that. He says Furbus didn't say anything about picking you up. This was a
Oh well,
one-way trip.
well, we're gonna need passage off the Isle, obviously. Maybe you can, yeah, maybe you can come back
We
or
certainly,
send someone
we
or send
certainly,
someone.
we certainly can't wait around, but we could come back. What is your time? What is your time frame?
Well, I guess I'm on.
He kind of pulls
I'm on
out this register. It looks like he's got like like a register of cargo that he's looking at that has dates and stuff in it. And he's asking you, well, and he's kind of looking ahead, like he's thinking it's going to be about a total of 3 days to get you there from now. And, now he's wondering, well, when are you trying to be picked up?
Well, I guess I'm on the captain's timetable, but I've only got a couple weeks of food.
Mm.
We've only got a couple weeks of food with us, I believe. Unless you have more provisions to provide us.
I have a shipment that I'm taking to Selgant after we arrive in Westgate. It will be several days before we depart from Westgate to Selgant. It would leave you on the island for potentially a week.
That's acceptable. Don't forget about us, huh? Here.
Well,
And I guess kind of flirt with him a little bit, just to try and
yeah,
have him
let's
not
see if you
forget-
can sway
have him
him
forget me.
a little bit. Yeah, if you want to give a charisma check, let's see how well he
But
responds to it.
I'm not feeling really good about being left behind, so I want to try and maximize our chances of getting off.
So Mithra, when we were in town, we got 3 weeks of food.
There you
So
go.
I don't know.
Yeah, they did pick up
We're
some.
looking at that.
They were
Okay.
stocking up. Which so
Well,
yeah, so I think you basically get the sense that he'll put you on the schedule, and so he flips the book, finds a blank spot in his register, and he fills in. He says, what's the name and how do I find you? And the two of you can kind of sort that out as far as if you have a way that you'll be able to find one another after from the point where he drops you off or something like that. I guess is something you guys can kind of
Fire.
yeah.
some kind of signal fire. Yeah, probably I would talk to Saharan about the best way to do that at some point.
Yeah, you might have other magical means to communicate, stuff like that. Yep. So, but you're on the register. As far as him doing it, he says, of course, it's going
It's gonna be extra.
it's going to be a little extra. I mean, it's certainly going to
Of
be
course.
costly for me to delay my trip to Selgant. Well,
So what are we talking?
I think 200 gold would get it done.
Karma down. Karma.
I will take 100 before and the other when I arrive to pick you up.
Yeah, we can do that.
He says
I think. I hope.
yeah, you kind of see like you definitely like see all of these books and things that he's got as far as like different shipping registers and lists of cargo and all kinds of stuff. So he seems like he's a trader or something to that effect who does a lot of shipping and makes his way around as far as that's concerned. So you do get the sense that the captain himself has competence. Maybe there's a huge gap between him and the others, it seems like, who are probably better at other things. So
So he's probably an independent merchant trader that hires on the cheap, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Not a pirate though. That's good.
anything else that you wanted to ask the captain?
That's all I can think of. Does anyone out of character want to give me any ideas?
No, well, I don't have any either. I'm more concerned about if there's any nugget of information we can get out of the wizard as to how to attack your problem, being the tattoos and the potential insanity that might break up our harmonious little group here.
He says, so yeah, is that something that you guys want to seek out from him, from the wizard?
I think we should.
I think so.
Except the bar, this tattoo.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
speak for you.
it's really it's up to whatever you're comfortable with, Bart, as far as because you have an arrangement with the mage to talk again. So
Yeah.
is that something that you would have asked him as well? Is like, how do I remove this curse or anything about that? Or was it more the
Since
vision?
Bart noticed him looking at it last time, or kind of felt him taking notice of his arm, he might bring it up the next time we talk and see if that see what kind of bearing that has on the conversation. And
Also, sorry,
oh, go ahead.
saying out of character is also. Do you think this fog is important? Like, do you guys even know why or where or suddenly how long ago it just came here? I can't remember that detail. I think I should have known that one, but find out what you can about the fog as well.
The veil, I think, is just a feature of the sea here, isn't it? It's been.
Yeah,
It's
I
it's
think you gave us some history on
probably
it.
know, yeah, would probably know more than anybody.
you lived with it for years. It seems
Okay.
to come in to, and all of you would kind of have a sense of it. You would have heard of it in one way or another, that it a lot of people feel like it's unnatural, that it started at some point in time, not in the too distant past, and has been a mystery as to what its cause is. But when it comes through, it seems to, like in the case of Ravens Bluff, they basically shut the entire city down, because otherwise they have a lot of crime and a lot of groups that take advantage of the fact that you cannot get around and see and navigate in the Vale. In other places like Procampur, I think that's where you hear rumors that the Vale brings hauntings and unnatural occurrences. So that's more of what the rumors and experience are for those from Procampur. Yeah. But yeah, I think as far as Baden is concerned, he would, when asked, he would, look at the marking, and he would say to you, I, I, I could try to remove this curse from you, but I don't know if it would work. If you would be willing, I, I could attempt it.
I think Bart's willing, depending on the potential side effects.
Well, it's certainly not a marking I've seen before, so I couldn't
Top
tell
your
you.
arm.
But if you would meet me on the deck tomorrow during the daylight, I think it would be safer to conduct it atop the boat instead of within. I would be willing to attempt a ritual that may help you, but again, friend, I know not what this is or its cause, but I should try if you would want me to.
I think Bart's, yeah,
He's
he'll agree to
interested.
meet him tomorrow. Yeah, he seems like a pretty genuine.
So, yeah. So Vaden, again, he seems like he does seem like he's helpful. He does seem like he's trustworthy, at least from the interactions you've had with him. He seems consistent in the way he's speaking about it. Um, with that being said, I think you guys have spent a full day at sea, and now we should probably talk a little bit about how you will bunk, if you have any precautions that you're taking or any procedures that you're going to use to keep an eye on one another or yourselves. It's pretty much an open area. The picture on the left here is kind of a good representation of what it's like. You've got a bunch of hammocks and things that are hoisted up during the daytime and then lowered down when people want to sleep. And then there's sheets and cloths that kind of separate some of the areas for.
We're on Bart's visions.
Oh, I've got you on the wrong screen. I'm sorry. It went to move you back. Thank you. So yeah, the left-hand side here is what I was referring to. So, there's trunks and some storage that is available that you can use and that others are using in their areas as well. So it's comfortable, but again, it's a mixed crowd as far as, who's around and who's up to what, that sort of thing. So I assumed you guys wanted to take certain precautions. Is there anything that you wanted to put out there?
Where's the woman?
The woman?
Oh, I was just gonna say the woman that was collecting the money from people. Where is she bunking at?
She bunks in. There's an area where there's a lot of the crew, a lot of the Westgate crew seems to be congregated. Some of the people who were gambling, you would recognize, as well as her, who are kind of congregated at the front of this section. So you all have kind of found yourselves in a similar section to one another, and they're sort of across the ways from you, down a little ways from you.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna suggest the group we should bunk nearby together, obviously, so we could keep an eye out. And I was hoping that we could be sort of closer to, you know, the powers that be of the ship, meeting her and Baden, you know, so that we
Yeah.
can keep an eye on them and what they're up to.
Here's the overhead view as well to give you a better sense. So you're on the bottom deck right now. You know, these little areas or coves or whatever are where these hammocks are mostly strung up, and there's some privacy. The crew and the Westgate folks are mostly towards the front, and you guys are in this back left section. So there's other, you know, random passengers and folks in between. So it's pretty full. Definitely you know, the whole passenger area seems to be filled up, and all the beds seem to be claimed as far as you can tell.
Okay.
If we can get like a party trunk, put all of our stuff in it. Do we want to get watches?
Yeah, I don't sleep well. I'll be up most of the night watching, but it'd be nice to have another person to watch out when I do sleep. Just
All
saying.
right, yeah. We can split up watches then. Need be casting spells or anything before we call it a day?
The only thing I would have would be like a Wyvern Watch spell, but that doesn't give us any warning. It just kind of basically opponent saves or is kind of stunned and frozen in place for a moment.
The only thing I could think might be able to do is rig some kind of little snares or something around our stuff.
It's like a noisemaker. Yeah, you can, if you'd like to roll a survival check to try to set a snare. I think that's a fair way to do it. Anybody else have any special precautions that you're taking? And then if someone could just put in the order for me that you're going to be keeping watch.
I think Mithra be, you know, watching up, trying to catch a sight of, you know, who I expressed interest in earlier. But maybe I would set up a mirror. Like if I have a little mirror that I got from the temple. And use it to, you know, fix my hair, but then I'd want it in a place that I could see what's behind me as well while I'm looking
Could use
forward.
the Medusa mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's no accident that you have that mirror. Okay, got it. So what? I guess if you can just put in the order for me, and I'll do the checks.
Do either of the casters, do you need any special link time before you pray? Or
I suppose Orc may need some time to pray to receive spells.
Okay, so
Right,
do you want to go last, or?
I was gonna say, yeah,
Sure, yeah.
maybe
Either
Sahar
that or
first.
Sahar, yeah.
I really have a list of spells pre-prepared, but I mean, I really don't need any special time at this moment.
Okay.
All right. Be Bart first then.
Sure. So yeah, I guess Bart will take first watch, and then
Okay. And then who's?
And then I'll do the rest
Does that look
there you
good?
go.
till morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
she only needs a couple hours of sleep. She can be the watch girl. That's fine.
Perfect. Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll go ahead and take our mid-session break. So if you guys want to take a few minute break, and then when we come back, we'll run through this, see what happened during the night, and we'll go into the next days here.
Probably going to ambush us. Silly DM.
What, 5 minutes?
All right, so I'm gonna roll here. Quick.
Roll up our treasure.
Right.
There's,
We need about.
there's treasure on the gambling table.
I think I need about 2,600 more XP, Jamie, to level up. So give us.
Let's see. So, yeah. So
No.
Bart, basically, I mean, during your time, you kind of noticed that there's a lot of people who turn in much later than you all did. Would be about the extent of what you observed. Nobody really seemed to be laying any suspicious eyes on you or doing anything out of the ordinary. Griff, pretty similar during your watch as well. It kind of settles down after a while, and you start to just really feel the movement of the boat, and you're not hearing as much movement around, although there is seemingly always something or somebody stirring. It's a big open area, so you're hearing a lot of different noises and stuff like that, but nothing above a snore, essentially. Seyharn,
Sir.
you during your watch,
I thought Mithra was watching for the night.
she's going last in the order from what I've got.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant that she would, since she stays awake for most of the night, I'm happy to do the most of the first part so y'all can get a good sleep, especially you that are not so
Right.
seaworthy.
Right.
Not that I was wanted to be watching at the end. I was actually hoping to sleep at the end, but however it works out is fine.
All right.
It's all right.
Well, Seyharn, you are you hear a voice from what feels like one of the decks above you. At this point, you're so far away, you don't know, but it sounds like a yell coming from a level or two above you, and it catches your attention, when you hear it, and then after a moment, you actually hear a chorus of voices, now louder, coming from the top deck, seemingly, or in that direction. And you hear somebody say, watch out, watch out!
I'm going to wake my companions at this point.
So go ahead and let's have everybody roll. I'm going to have you just roll wisdom checks for now, as this is happening, as this is unfolding. All right. Got one success.
Loading.
All right. There you go. So you as you're waking the others, and Amithra for some reason is having trouble stirring. Maybe she's particularly exhausted, or just not, or maybe not feeling comfortable at sea. But so you're struggling to awaken here right away to see this. But for the others who succeeded, you would have stirred enough to observe what appears to be some mist that seems to be inside the boat and starting to kind of fill up in the cabin area, and so as you're being woken by Seyharn, that's the first thing that you would notice. So you hear some others, on the same level as you now, starting to stir and awaken, and it's like you know, the voices are kind of starting to circle around now, where you hear others being alerted. So let's go ahead and do initiative for you all. And I think now you can just roll initiative. I don't think you have to like click anything special, like your token or anything.
I've forgotten how to do that.
So it'll be, I guess, what we've been doing is one of you will roll initiative for the group,
Yep.
and then if you want to cast a spell or make an attack, of course, right now, this is just more about, you know, getting it formalized so I can give each of you an opportunity to act.
All right.
So you may not have a spell ready or a weapon to swing at anyone in your hand yet, but we'll
So
establish.
we're doing group initiative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Art.
Go ahead and roll it.
There you go.
6.
Okay, so I don't know. There we go. All right, so we'll just have all of you on a 6 for right now. Amithra, I'm going to bump her to next round. Let's see. So, who am I missing here? Amithra. All right, so Griff, you're awoken by Saharn. What are you saying, Saharn, to him? Anything specific, or just trying to stir him up?
What? No, I think I'm telling him I hear trouble aboard ship. Sounds like possible combat. I don't know. People yelling, "Wake up!" And the mist. Does it smell like fire, or is it the mist?
No, it does not smell like smoke
It's
or anything.
not.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think we're being invaded by the mist.
Um. Let's see. Why do I have Curza in here for some reason? Oh, it's Bart. That's who I was missing. Okay, so Bart, what anything that you're doing? I mean, so for Griff, are you grabbing your weapon?
Start arming myself.
Okay. All right, so you're able to get up and get your
And what do I see?
your weapon. You see
the
that
mist.
you see this mist filling the room, just starting to become pretty thick as far as I'll add this in here. So starting to kind of fill the room, and again, it's like it doesn't smell like smoke, so that's odd to you. But anything else? I think that's it. You could probably do. Bart, what would you like to do?
I think besides just make sure I'm on my feet, have my wits about me, and perhaps the glowing stone that we had, I think it had continual light on it or something, just in case it gets real dark.
Okay. Was there
Handy.
what weapon are you? Do you have your weapon handy?
It would be just a club that I have.
Okay.
If we get into a
Right.
altercation, I'd probably cast Shillelagh on it.
All right. And Saharn, you've woken everyone. Is there anything else that you're doing at this point as the mist is filling the room?
I'm just gonna use this in the morning to help Bart, though, but I think I'm gonna bless the group, which takes 6 rounds, though. I don't know if we really have time for that, do we?
No.
No. Okay. Never mind. No.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Good.
All right. And all right, so then you guys have all been able to basically I'll move Amithra back here to kind of reflect. So I think we're gonna have Griff, Bart, and then Saharn, and then for now Amithra is going to roll another wisdom check.
Are you full hit points?
Yeah, you guys should be at full hit points. Everybody should be at full hit points. Okay.
I must have had too much to drink, huh?
My goodness, you maybe you enjoyed too many
Yeah.
beverages over the dice. I don't know, but this is just means that you're getting up slowly, so you'll be able to see what's going on this round at least. But you're not going to be able to really take any actions until um, uh, next round. So it's just you're just slow to get out. You just got kind of tied up, or your things are hard to reach and that sort of thing. So when you do wake up, I assume you're grabbing your weapons, your armor, anything like that. Is that right?
Yeah, I probably don't have time to put my armor on. I was probably
Yeah.
sleeping in a robe, one of the robes that we
Yeah.
got. But I would probably grab my shield and my sword and maybe my helmet.
Okay. All right. So that means then we're back to the top of the order, and then this is where things get a little more interesting. As the fog kind of again just really fills this whole place. Let me send this to the back. From within it, a shape emerges that appears to be a small humanoid figure, about 4.5 feet in height, stocky build, long beard, and it walks really stoically out of the mist towards you. And as it starts to
No.
take shape, you see what looks like and I'll move this to the layer. It appears to be a dwarven spirit that stands before you, and he looks at each of you for just a split second before raising his hammer at you, and he says, "Curse upon you!" And he steps forward, and as he does that, he materializes before you, where he seemed as if he was transparent a moment ago. He now seems to be tangible, standing before you almost, and he's lifting his hammer over his head. So he's gonna go this turn first, and then you guys will get to go, because this is really the end of the last. All right, so where are we? There. So yeah, I'll let you guys, that'll help you guys probably decide what you want to do next turn. So you can go ahead and edit your turn order based on what's about to happen, and then I'll resort it after he gets his attack off. So he's going to first chase towards Griff. That's going to be the first person in his line of sight, and he's going to swing his hammer down upon thee. What is Griff's AC currently?
Do I have my armor on?
What's your armor?
Leather.
I'm okay as a DM if you want to say you sleep in leather armor. I find it unrealistic to think someone would sleep in anything heavier than that, but I don't have too big of a problem thinking that someone would sleep in leather armor. So that's up to you. If you want to be wearing your armor, that's not a problem to me.
Okay, it's 4.
4, okay. 11. Let's see.
And we're still on the, not showing the bubbles.
Oh, man, I think I got you guys screwed up again. Here we go.
All right.
How's that? You didn't even get to see that.
Oh, that's better. I was like, what is he talking about?
Man, I was animating it and everything just for myself. No. So yeah, so that's what you're seeing is this. Do you see the turn order now or not? You
Yes.
do? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
So do we need to add our weapon speed, I guess?
You will, yeah. You can go ahead and add it now for next round because this is the end of the first round. So but he's first swinging at you. He rolled a 9. Your AC is 4. He actually misses you. Or wait, yeah, okay. So, it will go, if you guys want to go ahead and add your weapon speeds in, or if you're gonna cast, you can add your casting time to the 6.
Not on the turn order.
You don't have the turn order up?
I do, but I'm not on it. I only see.
Oh, I see you. It's your
Yeah.
old token. It's your old token. Do you see the old token on there?
No.
Oh.
I don't think I can edit it though.
Let's see. I'll add.
Yeah, in the past we could, but for some reason I don't see a way
I
to.
used. Well, on the last time we played, there we go. I'm on there now.
Well, I'll just re-add you all. I don't know what it.
The
It
last
might be
one we were
because.
rolling initiative off of our weapon.
Yeah, that was.
Well, but-
Yeah, I mean, we can do that if you guys prefer to roll your individual initiatives. I'm fine with that. But do you see yourselves now, or in the turn
Yes,
order?
I see it.
Okay. All right.
So how are we doing this?
But I still can't edit it, Jamie.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and just roll them from your sheets, guys, to see if that is gonna work now as expected.
Yeah, it added the Bruce's speed factor.
Yeah, but it didn't put you in my turn order. I don't see you in there.
You have to.
Oh, see, yeah, you do have to click on your token. So now, if you do that,
your
you
weapon.
should be able to edit.
Like my avatar thing there, like
Yeah.
my portrait thing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. I can't seem to click on Bart.
Yeah, nor can I. But interestingly enough, I could before. I saw like it makes like a red.
I see.
I don't know why though.
There I can. Okay. I can try again.
There you go.
That time it works.
You should be able to now, Molly.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And looks like the other two were, yeah, okay. Yeah, I had made some changes. I think that's what happened there. Okay.
All right.
All right, now I've got everybody in here. So, Molly, you're first.
If it makes a difference here, sorry to interrupt. I'm not actually, I just rolled initiative. I'm not actually intending to strike with my weapon. I'm going to just stand back and start chanting.
You're casting a spell?
Yes.
So, you already added the casting time?
The casting time is 2 rounds. I don't know how you do it. I mean, I rolled my the initiative I rolled is on my weapon.
I got it. So we'll just let we'll say I got you. You're casting this round. I got you. Okay. All right, Mithra.
Is there like an aid action? Like I was thinking, can I rush up and aid Griff in his attack because he's next in the. You know, I'm not looking to like get right in the fray because I don't have my armor on, but I do want to get in the fray. So, and if not, then I'll go up and parry to distract the spirit.
I mean, I think by engaging it, you would be aiding him because he wouldn't be its lone target. So
I just played Pathfinder and there's an aid, and
I know.
I was just, you know, it's like I was just
no, there's not really.
I didn't think so. Yeah. Oh, now I have a choice between 2 different parries, though, right? How does that work again, Amy? Parries. There's the one in the fighter's handbook. Remember I asked you? Let's see.
Yeah, I forget now. It's been a long time since you used.
Maybe I'll look it up and go towards the end of the round.
We'll see if you get hit and if you want to reference that when if you did get hit. Okay, so you're stepping up and engaging trying to parry with this thing, and then that is then Griff's turn. It swung at you once.
So
Looks hell-bent on
I'm gonna,
doing it again.
okay, I'm gonna, as I swing, can I say, who are you? Why are you attacking me?
Let's see. Make a wisdom, or sorry, charisma check. Let's see how he reacts to this. Um, so your swing at it misses it, doesn't seem to harm it at all. And as you ask the question, he kind of looks back at you, and he says, "I am Yulosh, and you will be dead soon." And
Get
he
to attack.
lifts his hammer back as if he's coming right back at you. Bart.
Oh gosh.
I get to attack.
Oh, well, let's see. Go ahead and roll your second attack. All right. Bart.
Bart's trying to cast a spell here. I need to may not even have this spell. Yeah, I don't. So he's casting Shillelagh at his club to prepare for combat, and maybe I think that's about it.
It's a good idea.
Okay. All right. All right. So the dwarven spirit here is going to swing back at. Let's see. I think he's focused on Griff at the moment. So. And he's okay. Okay, so actually I need you to roll a savings throw versus spell.
For me?
Yeah, for Griff. Sorry about that, yeah. All right. Okay, so as it strikes you, you feel kind of like a brief welling up of fear, but you're able to overcome it. It doesn't seem to drive you away as it initially felt it might. You are able to resist it. However, he has struck you, and he is gonna do. Oops. 9 damage.
Oh, it's a bit.
And that is, and then he's lifting his hammer again, like he's gonna go now after a Mithra who dares to stand before him.
Uh-oh, so here's what I got. The one in the player's handbook is half your level to your AC, bonus to your AC, and then half your level +1 if you're a fighter. So in my case, it would be 3, right? +3 to my AC. And then the fighter's handbook parry is he rolls to hit, and then if he hits, I roll to hit his armor class. And if I use a shield, it's +2, and if I'm successful, I parry his blow.
Got it.
Um,
Okay. Well, he won't get an attack here yet on you. So you can hang on to that. It's actually gonna be Seharn's turn now.
I'm still casting, so
Oh,
it's
that's right.
2
Yeah,
rounds,
that's right.
right?
Yeah. Yep. So I'm
Is that
adding.
beginning of next round or end of next round?
I would say it's the end of next round. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to get you guys your hit point bars added here since we are now officially in combat. 1 second. Don't forget,
You
this
said
is a
for
friendly reminder. You've got astonishing fortune.
yeah.
So, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say you said you were casting Bless, Wayne, or was it?
I'm chanting. I'm casting a chant. The bless is
Okay.
this is a group. Once it takes effect, you'll all have +1 attack damage and saves, and the enemy will have -1 to save. Same, but right now I'm worried.
All right.
I'm worried that it takes magical weapons or something, which I don't have. I don't have much I can do against this.
All right.
Maybe spiritual
Amithra's
hammer.
up. What are you gonna do, Amithra?
Okay, so are we in a new round? Is that
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to change your action or anything, you can, but I assumed you were either going to parry again or attack.
so this round I'll get 2 attacks because it's I was gonna parry with my Drusus, and I do get 3 attacks for 2 rounds, right? So I'll do 1 attack to attack and 1 to parry
Okay.
with it,
All right.
and try and see what he's capable of, you know.
Sure.
So you want me to roll to
Yep.
hit? Is that? Yep. Sorry about that. I think I closed my character sheet.
Let's see. Drusus.
Yes.
Oops. Yeah, I can roll it for you. Are you
Yeah, go for it.
Are you having trouble getting it open, or?
It's open and slow.
Okay, so you you swing and you feel like you have struck true. However, you don't think it affected him.
Oh boy. All right.
So it's almost like you know, the hit itself was right where it needed to be, but the effect and his reaction was as if nothing occurred.
So I curse and Rashomai, but I can't hit him. There's something foul here.
All right, Griff. It's back to you.
I see this happen. She just swings through it, and he just doesn't seem to have any effect on
It's like it hits him and just glides off of him. Doesn't like pass through it. He does seem like he has formed. Like he's not ethereal as he was when he first entered the room.
All right. Again, I'll say, why are you attacking it? I'll swing. When he hit me, what did it feel
It
like
you were first.
freezing or
The first thing that you felt was fear, and then shortly after that, it was like a cold sting that kind of went through almost like your nerves, is what it felt like.
doesn't look like anything I've ever faced?
I don't think so. Yeah, so the short sword again looks like it's like you hit him and it doesn't seem to slash him as you would expect. sort of glides over him, as if he's immune to it. So yeah, that's I think at this point, you guys are all starting to hear battles going on throughout this part of the ship. Even maybe out of the corner of your eye, you're seeing more than one of these spirits fighting other groups on your level, and they're kind of yelling and screaming and doing their own combat a little bit away from you on the other end of this level, and you're hearing things above as well. So you get the sense that it's not necessarily singling you out. I guess is what is maybe part of what you would realize. So anyway, it's Bart, your turn.
Yeah, I guess Bart's a little bit concerned. He's had some good luck on the front lines and some not so good luck. But he's got his shillelagh ready, so
Aha,
I guess we'll swing it.
the shillelagh.
Uh, Guessing that's not going to work very well.
No, that is not gonna hit. You do still have astonishing fortune if you guys want to use those. Or remember
Do
your
it.
numbers.
Do it, Bart.
It does strike as a magical weapon. I
Mhm.
could try once more if we want to do that, I guess. Sure.
That might be our only hope.
All right.
I mean, I could stop.
I think it's
Once
waste
again,
after waste. Yeah.
well, once again, unfortunately, that doesn't seem to cause any damage to it. All right. Anything else for Bart? You're just
He's probably trying to not. Maybe he missed just because he's not really fully got his confidence back after the white and isn't really stepping all the way up to the front line. Maybe.
That's a good point. Yeah. So you had a run in with a white that drained a level out of you. So that would have a pretty big impact altogether, just to see another undead creature. So yeah, bad memory. All right, so it is now the dwarf, and he's going to now direct his attack towards Amithra. He's gonna share the wealth.
Saharn get to do anything?
Saharn goes next. He's
Oh.
Till
So
the second round,
what's
right?
yeah? This your effect will go off. What's your AC, Amithra?
Well, I'm not wearing armor. I just have a shield, so it's 9.
Okay.
Oh,
But you get your parry, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Well, it's going to miss you pretty badly with that roll. So,
Amithra remembers the magic sword, short sword that Ronnie gave her, and so is planning next round to disengage and run back for that.
Yeah, great call. Okay. Yeah, I see that actually. Yeah, you have it's unidentified, in fact.
But I did use it against the white.
That's right.
So, and you had said that it was similar enough to a Drusus that I still got my bonus to hit with it because I'm specialist with Drusus.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, so he misses you, thankfully. So Saharn, what happens when your spell goes off here?
when my spell goes off here, winds seem to blow from behind me, gently, warmly, enveloping my companions, bringing a chill yet fear to the enemy, except I don't think it's going to affect this guy because he looks like he's already dead. But so the big ask here is everybody gets a +1 to attack, save, and damage, and a -1 to the spirit. But while they're under the effect of my chant, while they're being magically enhanced, are they in effect +1 weapons? Like, are the individuals, Grim, Mithra, Bart, with that?
Their weapons aren't technically enchanted. No.
I know, I know. I thought you'd say no. It's just a little flavor.
It's worth
But
asking. I
like,
get it.
Worth a
they're-
shot.
It's a
they are the +1. It's the magic's buffing their damage, right?
right.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
I tried, guys. I
Oh, that's
tried.
good. That's pretty good that they're all buffed. So everybody remember to add that to your rolls and for your saves as well. So awesome. All right.
And that's what I'll keep doing until I see a need to change. Just keep me out here. I'm good with this.
All right. Gotcha. All right. So Mithra, you're probably going faster than an 8 if you're running
Yeah,
out of
so
here.
I would act on 5 because no speed factor, right?
Right. Okay. So you're running over and grabbing the short sword.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And running back as quick as I can.
Okay. Griff.
So I see Mithra run off.
Yeah. Leaving you
I
alone at the
see-
front line.
Saharn,
Yeah, but I can't hit it, so I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saharn chanted something and said, I guess said you're blessed. I'll yell out, my weapons don't have an effect on this thing. Casters, you're gonna have to help us. I'll go ahead and swing again. I don't really have it around. Seems to be like mist everywhere and lots of different little groups fighting.
Yeah.
Do I see any more of these things?
You can't really make them out. It's so full of mist. The only one that you're seeing is this one that's immediately nearest you. But you get the sense that the same thing is happening just from all the noise and screaming of combat that's going on down here.
So I want to try to stay in between me and the rest of the party, or between the dwarf and the rest of the party.
Okay, got it.
And just try to be a somewhat of a meat shield. I'll go ahead and take a swing, just distract it.
Okay.
That's brave. How did this even happen? I thought the captain said he was going to avoid the mist and sail north, right?
That captain.
Okay. All right. All right. So we got that. I think
short sword.
that's a good. It's a good swing. It's a damn good swing. Yeah. Unfortunately, at this point, it's letting him know that you're capable of hitting him. You just may have the wrong implement. But all right, Bart, you're up.
Yes, well, Bart's gonna maybe at this point looks back and sees that Amithra's not planning on going completely away, so
No, she's
He
not
will-
abandoning ship.
he will hopefully make a more emboldened swing with his lily this time.
Wow, indeed
Ah,
you did. Indeed
we
you
go.
did. That is a hit.
Oof.
That is a
One off
hit
the
that will
Excellent.
cause damage.
Yeah, so this is the plus. Oh, that's without the +1 actually. I didn't add that in like I should have.
Plus
Does
one in
the-
damage, too.
Does it do +1 to damage too? Okay, I will put that on here so I don't forget it.
You said hit, damage, and saving throws.
All right, so here is 2d4 +1.
Oh
Oh.
no.
Come on, fine.
2 and a 1.
Really?
Jeez. Okay.
Ouch. But so that's a 4
Hey.
at least. So
And so with that, he like his facial expression when you hit him changes from being just in this pure rage to being a little bit not concerned but taking notice of the fact that you're capable of striking it. So he it's like he kind of like steps back and lifts his shoulders back, like almost turns his head sideways, like surprised that you were able to affect him by it. So all right, so with that, it's back to him. He is going to go ahead and deliver a shot towards the closest target, which is going to be Griff, who's standing close by. Which I guess really you're in striking range as well, Bart. So But he's going to. I know that the meat shield's trying to stay in there, so we'll let the meat shield take this shot at least. Okay, so that's a miss at Griff. So Saharn, your turn.
Change tactic. I think I'm just gonna cast again. There's nothing. I've been chanting this run. I don't have a magical weapon. I think I'm just gonna wait, do initiative, and cast spiritual hammer as quick as I can.
Okay. Okay.
There's not much else I can do.
Got it. All right. So Amithra, you can return to battle and add your short sword speed to your initiative there.
Since I'm returning to the melee, and he's kind of busy with Bart and Griff, is there any way I can position myself to get behind him?
Sure, you can do that. You can flank him.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Like, I think, I'm pretty sure AD&D is +2, right, from behind.
Yeah.
For everybody, right? Yeah.
For the yeah.
So that's what I'm aiming to do. Like as I come scrambling back.
Okay.
Sort of twirling the short sword, trying to get a feel for its weight, because it's different than the Druse's.
All right, so you're back in battle. Griff, you're back up. You see your party member rejoin you in the front of the line here. She's actually
all right. I'll kind of try to taunt him and say, you don't scare me. I'll yell out, casters, see something about this undead guy. I'll at him again. Try to keep.
Yeah, I have no ability for that. That was part of how we developed this character. Saharn cannot turn undead.
It was a trade-off.
Yeah, because undead is just not much of a thing in my natural realm.
You specialty priests, you.
Yeah.
Both of you.
I was gonna say we're keeping a.
Really, it's just my
friend with that.
aquatic environment.
So wait,
man.
do we have two priests who can't turn undead?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
Remember?
Okay.
What did I get?
Oh my God.
What did I get? I don't remember. It's written down, but yeah,
That's pretty
determined
hilarious.
that I'm not able to do that. Clear with it.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter. My chosen foe is undead, but they specifically said ghoul casts. I don't have a magic weapon anymore.
Well, we need to find some treasure, Mr. DM.
Hey, you've got plenty of stuff. Which Tim had asked the question about making sure the items in the party loot were distributed. Probably a good question right about now, to be honest with you, as far as dipping into
yeah, and
your
I think
magical stuff.
I think Molly came back and said Kurza was keeping track of it, so I don't know if the stuff that's listed in the party loot on the party loot actually already.
Yeah, that's something that you guys will have to figure out. I mean, I don't know what in there would be helpful right now that hasn't been distributed necessarily, but maybe some of the things that were
like that, but I don't know.
Yeah. Does anybody have religion or non-weapon proficiency about occultism or religion or anything like that?
I think so, but
okay. Like I said, my chosen foe is undead, but that was ghouls and whites. That's what.
Oh, nice. Okay.
To know what this.
All right. So I think is it Bart's turn still, or am I off here?
I just went.
Who just went? You just went, Griff. So yeah. So Bart, you're up.
all right. Be like saying no whammies.
I'm a little worried here.
Oh, that is a
That's
hit
Yeah.
again
that's
with the
got to be good
shillelagh.
too.
Ah,
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
He's rolling now.
yeah.
Oh
Oh,
no!
come
There's
on.
no way.
Same thing. There you go.
Goodness.
What are
2
you
and a 1
attacking
again.
with a
Oh man.
pointed
Man, oh
stick?
man.
Well, you are affecting it
All
for
right.
sure. You're the first one that's made this thing wince at all. So
Yeah,
your
I'm just gonna
shillelaghs,
make it mad without actually, taking it out. So
yeah.
that'll be interesting, I'm sure.
And this time I'm going to have it choose between the 3 people who are engaged with it now in melee, which is everyone but Saharn. So um, I'll just do.
But Mithra was flanking.
Yeah, and
I
he
guess
can
he
turn to
spins
face her
around.
if he chooses to. I'm gonna
That's
have him decide if that's worth his while here. Did it not roll? There we go. No, he's staying with Griff, unfortunately. So he needs a 11 to hit you or better. So, and he missed you again. He's rolling. I've rolled some really bad rolls. Fortunate for you guys. So
You have, yeah,
um,
thankfully.
Good. Yeah. Keep it up.
yep,
Thank you.
you
Keep it
got
up.
it. You got it. You know that's the way that the dice fall. Um, Saharn is up now.
So, this is the end of the third round,
Yep. Yeah, I think this is the 3rd round.
right? So at the beginning of this round, my spiritual or chant took effect. I don't think there's anything else I can do this round. I have to just drop the chant and start casting a second spell, right?
Well, that's. I don't think you have to do that like now. I think if you're casting another spell, you would just factor that in, whatever the casting time would have been. What spell are you gonna cast?
Spiritual hammer, which adds 5 to initiative.
Okay, so you'll be that would have actually gone off right before he went. Um, so I guess yeah, you can go ahead and roll for your spiritual hammer, or what does the spiritual hammer do?
Well, it strikes. It's a magical weapon. It strikes at, for 1d4 plus 1 damage. Actually, 1d4 plus
Oh, okay,
2.
got it.
It gives me a +1 to attack and damage as well.
Okay, so yeah, so your other spell ends, and you now basically have formed the effect of a magical hammer that you'll be able to wield going forward. So how does that work with your initiative now going forward? Does it say anything about that?
No, the casting time is 5, and I think isn't that the initiative
Oh,
modifier
that would have been
for
11.
magic?
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
yeah, so you can go ahead and roll it. I guess it's a one-time attack.
No,
It.
no. Duration is 3 rounds plus 1 per level, so 6 rounds.
Oh, I got it. But I guess what I'm getting at is next round when you go to attack, it's not going to. Is it going to be your casting time again every round when you're using spiritual hammer, or would it be the speed of the
No,
hammer?
I think from that point on, it's just normal initiative or
Got it.
speed of
Okay,
it.
that's what I was
Got it.
wondering. Got it. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
No, we're good. It's I just like to ask the question because I'm trying to learn. Okay, Mithra, you're up again.
Wait, the DM said he's trying to learn the game. Oh boy.
Oh, you can't learn this game.
I'm trying to
You can
learn.
only hope.
Oh,
So many nooks and crannies in this game. I'm
Oh,
gonna try and
oh,
get
I
my
love this
shot in it.
game. Yes.
I'm gonna try and get a shot in at him with
Well,
the unidentified short sword.
I'll say it's been a long time since I've used or seen the spiritual hammer too. That's the other thing, which is cool.
so you're going to use the short sword of undead dwarf slaying?
That's right.
Yeah. Me too, Jamie. It's been, like I said, 20 years since I played. And I mean, as a player,
Well, it's
40 years.
it's pretty awesome to see some of these spells and stuff come out of nowhere too. Wow. Okay.
Hell yeah.
I added 2 because you said
Mhm.
yeah, it was from behind.
Yeah, that's a hit. Solid hit. Let's see if you can do more than minimum damage here.
He's small medium, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's dwarf.
medium. 6 damage. Okay.
Oh wait, actually,
Is Bless still going?
yeah, and plus is go, and then +1 for my strength.
So
Did add it in.
so 3 more, or did it not add it in? Oh, I guess it didn't add it. Okay.
It did.
So 3 more.
Well, it did +1.
Yeah,
I
see
don't get
that.
to see the die roll, Jamie. So I don't know.
You have to hover over the number.
Yeah,
Cool.
if you hover over the number, the purple, it'll show you what the roll was, and you can see what the pluses were. So, you
So
had
it did add the
+1.
+1. It
Yeah.
already did. Yeah.
It should, if strength is checked next to the weapon when you roll damage, it'll automatically add.
Cool beans.
Cool. All right, Griff, you are up. You see Mithra actually do some more damage to this thing
All right, which way is he facing?
towards Mithra.
Okay, I want to try to
Or actually, he
Yes, sir.
just swung at you, I think, right? Was it? Yeah.
all right, so it's still looking at me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll try to taunt him again and
You have the best AC right now, so.
Yeah.
Oh, do you wanna?
was
That's
that
a
a
crit
fumble?
fail. You can either roll the weapon fumble, or you can hero point it, or whatever. Not hero point it. Astonishing fortune it.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I probably should fumble.
Yeah, because you can't hit it anyway. So
Yeah. I don't want to chop my own arm off.
yeah.
Let's
Although
go.
we did quit a game once because the
Okay.
DM made a paladin
+1
quit
penalty
fumble.
to
So-
AC, -1 to okay.
Yeah.
So +1 to AC.
Good.
Okay, not too bad. All right. So a couple misses there, but wouldn't have mattered either way. You're definitely fighting an uphill battle here, trying to distract it, which is good. That's working. Bart, you're back up.
So,
Yeah, he doesn't know I can't hurt him.
Right. Everyone else is hurting him right now, including Bart. So
same story. Different answer though.
yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's gonna miss.
Different answer.
You guys have more fortune. I mean, that's one thing.
Yeah, we
You
still
know,
have.
if
oh,
you've
yeah,
only
we
used
have
1
three
out
left.
of 4 right now, so that's something you guys might want to think about.
We've only used 1,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like a myth, like I don't know, myth was got the true
She's got the better
power
Thaco.
power behind it. So yeah, it might be better spent
Yeah, that's fair.
on a true melee.
Oh, the spiritual hammer will hit him too, right?
It should. Yeah, it'll hit him. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. We're saving the points for now. So Saharn, you're up.
I'm whacking this guy now.
You may.
Yeah.
You may.
I
try.
may.
You may.
All
try.
right. Let's see if I type this in there correctly.
His AC is 4, by the way.
Oh, I was rolling to hit. Never mind. I rolled the wrong die. I'm just going to roll a d20 because I don't have spiritual hammer on my character sheet.
Use an astonishing fortune. Darn. Do it.
I think so. Should we? Oh, I rolled a
Did we?
5. Yeah, I totally missed.
Is that a die one? Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. I think I just blew the fortune too because it's basically a 13.
13. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your Thaco is 19, I think. So yeah, it's a miss, unfortunately.
Please have bad tacos. Yeah.
Yeah. You drop 2 next level. You'll go from 20. Yeah, you're at 20, I think, right now, and you'll go to 18 next level. Okay. All right. Back to our friendly ghost here, who is gonna decide again. Let's have him choose who he wants to target with this. Although it's starting to really miss quite a few in a row here. Did it roll? There we go. So he's turning his attention towards the shillelagh. And what is Mr. Bart's AC currently?
Bart is rocking 8.
8.
He's just got his
We're
robe and
eleven?
his bracers.
Oh, you don't have
Oh
stat
my
11?
god, he missed you. He
Nice.
missed you. He rolled
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
laugh. I laugh.
Great. Yeah, besides not being able to turn undead, Bart can't cast spells in armor either.
So your AC is right now 8, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I do have that.
The
Yeah, so-
monsters always like to pick on Bart. It's the shiny mask. I know it.
all
It
right,
could be.
all right,
The
Amisha.
Westworld face.
Oh,
I'm back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this round is be my round 2 with the short sword. So I will be getting 2 attacks.
Nice.
One now and one at the end. And so yeah, I will try and dig into him
Wow.
again with this.
Come on, hit him.
Am I still flanking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Face to.
Yep.
Facing up.
Nice.
Oh no,
Ah.
that's a 1.
Dude,
Oh.
dude, go ahead and flash some fortune on it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Gotta save the last one in case somebody goes down.
No way.
oh,
Oh my
Oh.
god.
exact same
Okay,
roll.
I'll roll on the fumbles this time.
I'm-
We don't have a choice.
That's crazy.
I've
Not-
rolled the
it's not the
same
weapon.
thing on like 4 or 5 rolls tonight. Some kind of conspiracy going on.
Okay, so you've dropped your weapon it's about 10
Yeah.
feet away. Okay.
Must not be used to the weight of it, you know.
Yeah, that kind of
Hey,
true.
see
I
if
can
it
see
came
that.
to me.
What was that? Yeah, so roll a
See if it came
d8.
toward me.
Roll a d8. Molly.
Roll a d8.
If it's a 4, it'll go straight towards Griff. So this one's gonna go. No, this one's not going because I'm basically using the d8 where there's a chart for it. But basically this one's gone behind her. So, but that's a good question. That was a good question. All right, Griff, you're up. I mean, you can still go
All
for it
right.
if you wanted. It's not,
Well, it's
impossible.
closer to her
It's
than it
just
is
closer
me.
to her. Yeah.
I have a question. With my second attack, will I be able to that I would have had if I still had it? Can I use that to pick it up, or no?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that.
So again, I'll try to get in between me, or in between the dwarf and Bart.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. Well, I'll go ahead and swing at it just to try to. Does it look like he's even reacting to when I swing at it, like dodging or?
He's starting to care less about your attacks and more about theirs. So it doesn't look like he's as concerned by you and your attacks as theirs.
All right, then I'm not going to. I won't even attack. I just want to try to get in between.
Okay. And just get his
Bart
attention,
and-
kind of.
Yeah, just get his attention.
All right. Make a charisma check, just out of curiosity here. I'm going to see how well you're able to draw his attention.
Like a taunt,
Okay.
of course.
He
Yeah.
doesn't care about you.
All right, that's fun. It's just to kind of see how he will react. I think essentially he probably starts to suspect that you're trying to divert him from maybe what his real target should be. That might be his thought at the moment, but nevertheless, it's actually Bart's turn.
Looks a little better.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Um,
That's a hit. You needed that. There
Yes.
you go. There's a good hit. There's a solid hit. So
There we go. Yeah.
definitely looks like, I mean, so by far
Wow,
that's the best
max.
hit. That's your
Wow.
max damage.
Yep.
you you smack him pretty good with this, and he actually sort of staggers for the first time from one of these hits, where he looks like it's starting to accumulate a little bit, but he's still, seems to be, upright and continuing to battle on. But that's a great hit. Anything else, Bart? Staying put.
Maybe step back just a couple paces in a little bit of surprise. Not exactly disengaging, but um, he's got some wary confidence about him, but is almost taken aback by it. Not sure if he should be as confident as he used to be or not.
Got it. Yeah, he'll now that sees this thing is kind of taking more notice of you, actually. I think that's sort of the effect of what Griff standing between you was, is that he was trying to draw his attention away from you, but now seems to be even more focused on you as a result of trying to run interference. So, all right, good turn. Saharn, you're up again. Guess you're
I want to, yeah, want to roll d20 plus 1. If it's a hit roll, do it just command/R hit, or you just want to factor hit the button?
You're saying there's a plus or something that's it's not going to add, or is it 13?
13 to hit.
Yeah, I think that's a miss for you, 'cause you're
Thank
hitting
you.
an AC. You'd be hitting an AC 7 right there. Yeah. All right. Anything else, Saharn?
No, that's
Okay.
all I can do.
All right.
One attack.
You can move too. You can move half your speed if you want as well, or half your movement. So I'm just trying to give you a chance if you're trying to change positions or anything. But
I will try to just continue to stay out of its range.
step back. Okay.
Yeah, let the meat guys do the distraction.
Yeah. Well,
When you're-
the meat guy is definitely getting its attention here. He's gonna swing at Griff again, and he actually misses Griff
Yes.
by 1.
They
Yeah.
needed an 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, oh no, that was last round. For my fumble, it was a -1.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
You're
last
right.
round.
So yeah, he's getting frustrated. He seems like he's having the same problem you're having, to be honest. So Amithra.
All right. So he yeah, I'm assuming that at least at the corner of his eye, he saw me fumble this weapon and drop it, and so when I pick it up to go and strike him again, I want to use arena acting and pretend like I don't know how to use it. Act like a total novice and try and fake him out to get
That's
the
cool.
effect.
Sure. Yeah. Do you have that in your character sheet? Does it have that in there? Oh, there we go. Cool.
Fog is worrisome, Jamie.
That's from the Complete Gladiator's Handbook
Yeah.
that you let me
Mhm.
do. That you were generous enough to let me have.
Ah, that's such a cool
Yeah.
ability. It's like a charisma based thing, really, too. So, yeah, go ahead. You can make your attack with +3.
Is he flanked?
Wow.
Oh, you got
What in the wow? That's definitely
totally
a
got
hit.
him.
Definitely a hit.
Awesome.
Wow. -5. And another max damage.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Max.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I didn't add the 3 either, so you can add that 3 on there.
Okay, 3. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
starting. Looks like he's starting to feel it now. He's taking some big shots here. All of a sudden, 16 points in the last 2 attacks against him. So, he's
Get
still
back in the
upright,
grave. Get back in the
Yeah.
grave where you belong.
You
but
ghostly.
he hangs on barely here as he fights on. Let's see, Griff, you're back up.
All right, so it's still facing me.
Yeah.
All right, I'll smile at him and say, "Had enough yet?" Stand right in front of him.
Okay. You can do a charisma check. I'll see how he may respond to the taunt. And then Bart.
We will swing. Don't know if a 6 will do it or not.
You know what?
No, no, unfortunately. That is a miss, unfortunately. Yeah. So after your taunt as well, I think the the spirit here is definitely getting frustrated, and he's going to continue to target you. Saharn, it's your turn.
Oh, spiritual hammer times round 3 of 6. Go.
Come on. That should be a hit. Yeah, that's a hit. That's right on the button.
That's what I need, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Slash R,
This is not an easy thing for you to hit.
1d4 plus 1.
All right.
4 points.
He's hanging on, but he's down to a handful here. He's down to a handful. So
It must dissipate soon. That's the first time I've even done anything to this.
Well, you've
Yeah,
added
I
the
haven't
plus
done
to
anything.
everybody, so that's good. All right,
Well,
so he's gonna now unleash his fury here towards Griff, who's continuing to taunt him. And he needs 11 or better, and he hits. So you'll roll a save or spell.
Is Bless still going?
How long was that, Wayne? Is that 4 rounds?
No,
Or what
that's
was that?
dropped. That's dropped.
Oh, it's
That
dropped, yeah.
dropped when I
Okay.
switched to spiritual hammer.
That's right.
It's a
Okay.
chant. Yeah, chant ends upon any other action.
Ugh.
Basically, you have to stand there and chant, or else it's not working.
So you failed the spell. Okay, so
Cool thing about chant, though, is it lasts for as long as I can stand there and chant. So it may come in handy sometime.
1 second. Just reading something. Okay. All right. So you're gonna take 6 damage. And that is actually that's it for now.
Building a 6.
Well, you feel okay. So you feel like something is starting to haunt your thoughts, and on your next turn, it's going to affect you. So, see, I know we're at time right now. Is everybody good to press on to finish this encounter, or does anyone want to?
Yes.
Okay, you good,
I
Adam?
can stay to the end, but
Yeah.
I gotta get going soon.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Like I said, he's down to a handful. So, all right, you're up, Molly.
All right. This round I get 2 attacks, I believe. Last time I had 1, right? Yeah.
Yes. You're gonna kill him.
I hope so.
Decided. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that is definitely a hit, and that is exactly what you
Yes.
needed to
Woohoo!
take
Yes.
him down. So, yeah, with your strike, he seems to dissipate. His form seems to turn into mist and join the cloud that keeps sort of rolling past you at this point. And after a few minutes, the cloud dissipates, and as you look around on this level of the ship, You see several dead bodies laying about. Some of the crew is laying dead, and a few of the other passengers. In total, it looks like there's 5 deceased on this level, and this is just in the immediate aftermath. The Baden, who was the wizard that you had met, Bart, he comes running down the steps, shortly after this whole attack, and to check on how did everyone fare, and he's checking all of you and looking to see who's wounded. And he says, it is a curse. They said, did you hear them?
I think Griff got hit pretty bad, so I check on Griff.
I'm down to 15. Am I bleeding or anything, or is it just?
No, he's pummeling you with a
Bleeding
hammer, so it was bludgeoning damage that you were taking. And yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, he just said "curse upon you," is all we heard.
Yeah, so he sort of like is shaking his head a little bit and in disbelief, as he's looking at the scene down here as well, and he says you are lucky to be alive. I don't know how all of you could have made it through. And he looks at you, Bart, and says, I will help you. Meet me on the top deck at sunrise. And he, with that, starts helping, just as the rest of you are, with picking up the pieces here. And that's where we'll close the session for this evening. We'll come back in 2 weeks' time, and we'll pick up here inside. Actually, in 2 weeks' time is Thanksgiving, so we won't be playing on Thanksgiving Day. So it'll be 2 weeks after that, I guess, is when it would be on our normal cadence. I'll throw a couple things in the channel to see if any of you all have availability, perhaps on one of the in-between weeks. We talked a little bit, myself and Wayne and Tim, about maybe trying to do something on different days at a different cadence, whatever would kind of promote more gameplay, I think was the
Going
general
weekly?
sense. So
Didn't
yeah,
we
maybe
talk
weekly.
about
Yeah, or even weekly.
going on
My thought all along was Thaco Thursdays. So
Yeah.
this made me really
Nice.
happy today to have Thaco Thursday. It was fun. It was
Go Thursday. There you
Uh,
I might be out. I'm sorry. I might be out in the beginning of December. I've got to have surgery in my eye.
oh,
okay.
And if I am on, I might need some help with
You got it.
we
rolling
got
stuff.
you. Yeah,
And
we got you.
I gotta fly now, but
Okay.
I know that we're wrapped up, but I want to give my the potion of minor healing that I got at the Timora Temple to Griff.
Nice.
I was just gonna say, if we're closing for the day, I can blow a couple heal spells real quick.
Well, I just gave it to him because I couldn't have never won that fight without him anyway. So, and I have a potion of healing. I have a couple doses left, so I give him a potion of minor healing.
I do too.
Yeah,
My thought is to
So
Bye,
you,
use
everyone.
the spells
see you
so that
later,
we
Molly.
repent.
Take
Hi,
care.
Molly.
Bye now. Have a good evening.
Awesome playing with you.
Yeah,
You too.
very good. Thanks.
Yeah, that was fun.